Having a conversation with Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon is a lot like sitting in on an improv session. When asked how they prepared to play best friends in the new action comedy The Spy Who Dumped Me, Kunis and McKinnon looked at each other conspiratorially. "We played a lot of trust games," Kunis began. "We jumped out of a plane together, we beat each other up," McKinnon chimed in, "just to see what would happen. We cried together, we laughed together," Kunis picked up. "We did a seance," McKinnon deadpanned. "Then we went to sleep together, and when we woke up," McKinnon began, "we realized something had changed, and so that was the weekend that Kate and I became really good friends," Kunis finished. Despite meeting for the first time on set, the two hit it off instantly. That chemistry, which Kunis says is impossible to predict in advance, elevated their portrayal as best friends swept up in an international conspiracy from being merely funny to believable and magnetic. "I think any time you work on a film, you get cast and you hope that the stars simply just get along," said Kunis. "And I think that in our case, we just got incredibly lucky that from the get-go we found each other entertaining. Kate made me laugh non-stop. I feel like we could just riff all day," said McKinnon. For co-writer and director Susanna Fogel, that authentic friendship between Audrey, Kunis, and Morgan, McKinnon, was instrumental in grounding the story and making it more about the bond between these women than about the titular breakup. "It's become my lifetime passion as a writer to try to show female friendships in the way that I see them, which is as emotional and connected and deep," said Fogel. "I feel like most movies about female friends derive their conflict from an extension of the high school movie rivalries, or there's some petty grievance, a competition over a guy or a wedding date or something. And I don't relate to any of that. I think when I was younger I probably had more friendships that were fraught in that way," she said. "But now my friends are basically my family. It's the family you choose. And I wanted to show the fun and love there. Avoiding cliches. Equally crucial was foregoing the tired trope of the catfight or an arbitrary friend breakup as a plot device. It's just fun to see two people that genuinely getting along," she said. "And they can still be an odd couple and different without having petty conflicts. It was more fun to watch them love each other." Kunis and McKinnon pair well together because their opposing styles of comedy are complementary. Kunis as Audrey is neurotic and straight-laced, while McKinnon, as always, is quirky and larger than life. The stars said that while the circumstances are extreme, the roles were not much of a stretch from their everyday personas. "We did an autobiography," Kunis joked. "And it felt like it really captured our day-to-day really well. It was basically just me," McKinnon said of playing Morgan. "This is so rare that I read something and I see myself in it. It was a total joy, and I wouldn't say easy by any stretch because for me, being like myself is a little difficult." For the actress, who had supporting roles in Ghostbusters and Rough Night, laying so much of herself bare on screen was nerve-wracking. "This is the biggest role I've done in a film to date," McKinnon said. "I was nervous about playing a character that was so close to myself and working in a tone that was so grounded. It was absolutely transformative and one of the greatest experiences I've ever had, but I was nervous." As for Audrey, Fogel wanted someone who seemed to have more going for her than her relationship. "I think it's tough especially because the catalyst for the plot is this breakup," said Fogel. "We're so used to seeing women in movies about a romance where they don't seem to have any inner fortitude. They're completely defined by their relationships and it's hard to engage with those characters and relate to them. Mila is just somebody who you instantly feel has an inner core self and strength and confidence, so you can push the breakup emotions without ever losing that toughness," she said. "I think it was knowing that as much as the breakup could be devastating to her character, we're never going to lose her to that cliché." Kunis, who toplined two Bad Moms films, knows how trendy R-rated female-driven comedies have grown in recent years. "Somebody asked me, 'Do you mind this being a trend?' she said. I was like, no. Make it as trendy as you want, so long as people see the movies. This industry is based off of money and bonuses. So if the movie does well, the board of Company X doesn't care what the movie is and who's in it. So as long as people see these movies, they'll keep making them. The Spy Who Dumped Me, R16, opens in New Zealand cinemas on August 9th. Los Angeles Times promoted stories recommended by